This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 23rd day of November in the year 2022. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. A number of non-governmental organizations in Guyana and the U.S., along with some opposition members of parliament, have signed on to a letter to U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris documenting what they call the untenable crisis of racism and discrimination in Guyana. The statement, along with a cover letter signed by retired military officer Leland Sol, who is the secretary of an organization called Institute for Action Against Racism, were dispatched to the U.S. Vice President. Sol, who worked with the UN local office before taking up a job as the housing CEO under the previous government, was fired once the government changed in 2020. His letter stated that the most fundamental of rights, freedom of expression and association, are blatantly assailed on a daily basis by the incumbent, while accusing the Guyana government of practicing economic genocide. The report sent to the U.S. Vice President stated that those in Guyana who are unwilling to toe the line in adherence of the regime's autocratic governance are ostracized, marginalized, and victimized. It also stated that some private businesses have been persecuted for advertising with media houses that the government considers unsupportive. The report also detailed that organizations that rely on government funding through state grants have found themselves being punished and defunded when they speak out against the government or do not agree with the government's position. The statement also suggested that freedom of expression and freedom of speech and the basic rights of Guyanese are under severe threat by the PP-Civic government. The statement said that most reprehensibly, the government is abusing the powers of the Guyana police force, as well as the criminal justice system, which they use as their enforcement agencies for political vendetta, victimization, and revenge. The report also noted that they also abuse the courts to obtain the most repugnant forms of political and personal recrimination. The groups have also dispatched a statement and letter to several members of U.S. Congress, CARICOM leaders, and the ABCE countries, as well as the Commonwealth, the Organization of American States, the African Union, and all African heads of government. The groups want urgent intervention from the international community. In response to the concerns raised in the letter to the U.S. Vice President, Prime Minister Mark Phillips dispatched a letter to the media today, stating that it is the opposition and not the government that seems to be stoking a civil unrest in the country. According to the Prime Minister, leaders in the APNU-AFC continue to push for civil unrest through attacks on the media, physically blockading government officials from engaging with communities, unruly behavior in the National Assembly, and adopting a confrontational approach to the President when there should be discussions on key national issues. The Prime Minister dismissed the concerns raised in the statement to the U.S. Vice President, and he stated that there has been tremendous progress in the country since the PP-Civic took office in 2020. The PP-Civic has found itself being accused of marginalization and discrimination since taking office, and has been encouraged by the U.S. government to be more inclusive. More news coming up in just a moment.
Something big is here. GTT presents the moment you've all been waiting for.
'Tis the season to drive with GTT. Get your chance to be one of 4 lucky winners of a Toyota Raise, plus weekly giveaways and more. Simply activate a prepaid plan, sign up for fiber and voice plan, pay any 2 bills with MMG, or join the GTT family, and vroom! It could be you. 4 Toyota Raises, 4 winners. Drive with GTT.
Where's the biggest Black Friday sale this year?
I found this on the web for you.
It's Giftland's biggest sale ever this Black Friday from Monday 21st to Friday 25th November. Get up to 80% off on electronics, household items, clothing, shoes, accessories, cosmetics, furniture, and much more.
Hey Siri, direction to Giftland Mall, please.
Getting directions to Giftland Mall.
Sorrel making, hey, garlic stirring, hey, ham and black cake eating. Now this is Christmas. 'Tis the season to get what you've always wanted with a little help from Republic Bank. Same day approvals apply online. It's time to make it happen for yourself and your family. Get cash back for the best Christmas ever. Sorrel making, hey, garlic stirring, hey, ham and black cake eating. Now this is Christmas.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Mobil 1 is more than oil. It's many oils. It transforms at the molecular level. When cold, it's thicker than honey. When hot, it's thinner than water. Mobil 1 adapts and readapts to last longer. 16,000 kilometers between oil changes. That's your engine evolved.
Guyana is the authorized distributor of Mobil lubricants.
Get in the game with Buster. Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, and many more top gaming prizes. Check below for details.
Let's tell you now that 1 month after the president announced the agreement for Charandas Prasad to no longer serve as Guyana's High Commissioner to India and return home, Prasad continues to serve in the position. The Alliance for Change today said that it has confirmed that Charandas Prasad is still functioning as Guyana's High Commissioner to India, despite being recalled. In a statement, the AFC said it has confirmed that despite the contents in an abhorrent and disgusting video that was circulated recently of Prasad insulting an Indian citizen in the vilest of terms, he continues to function as Guyana's High Commissioner to India. The party said it received reports of and was able to confirm that Prasad is scheduled to be a guest of honor at the India Economic Trade Organization's reception, which takes place this Friday in India. The AFC said all right-thinking Guyanese were embarrassed and insulted by Prasad's behavior and were relieved that he was being recalled. The party said, like the rest of Guyana, they were led to believe that the recall was with immediate effect, but that is not taking place. The AFC has alleged that both the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the President himself are aware of and have approved of Prasad's continued functioning and attendance at the state function. The AFC said it has since communicated with the host of the event to bring to his attention the disgrace that the presence of Charandas Prasad at the event could cause. President Irfan Ali, when contacted today, said the process of recall has already started, and he added that Prasad is currently clearing up to hand over and return home. Charandas Prasad found himself in the middle of controversy in India after a woman filed a police complaint against him with allegations of being verbally abused by him. A video recording of Prasad berating the woman while using a number of expletives surfaced on social media a year after, a few months ago, forcing the government's decision to recall him from the diplomatic position. Some sad news to report now. The decomposing body of land surveyor Jermaine LaRose was discovered in the Mazaruni River in the Mbamadi area. Police Commander for Region 7, Dion Moore, confirmed the discovery, and he told news source that LaRose's wife will be traveling to the area on Thursday to positively identify the remains. The police said the man's body was found on Tuesday evening, 2 weeks after a boat mishap in the same Mazaruni River that also claimed the life of another land surveyor, Terrence Thomas. Thomas's body was recovered last week. LaRose and Thomas were in the area to carry out land surveying work when the Guyana Georgian Mines Commission boat that they were traveling in reportedly started to sink. The captain of the boat and another passenger who managed to swim to safety said LaRose and Thomas were the first to jump out of the boat as it started to sink during the early morning trip. The captain told investigators that he only realized that the two men were missing when he made it to shore. A massive search was launched for the two men by the joint services in the area, and those searches continued for several days. Family members of Jermaine LaRose have called for a full investigation of the incident, since they have a number of questions that need to be answered about the trip and the incident. The boat that sank is still to be recovered, and the GGMC has indicated that its officers in the area had no permission to allow the boat to be used for the transport of the land surveyors at the time. The incident remains under investigation.
Hello, Guyana. I am Yolanda Brand, Chief Recruitment and Manpower Officer. And I'm here to tell you about the Ministry of Labor's first national job fair to be held at the Artichon Convention Center on November 28, 2022. I want to encourage you to use this opportunity to get to know all there is to know on available vacancies within the private, public, industrial, and oil and gas sector. This event caters for job seekers, as there will be more than 40 major businesses and oil and gas contractors ready to engage you on the spot. For those of you who would not be able to make it, you can visit our job bank at jobs.gov.ui. Don't miss the date, November 28th at the Artichon Convention Center. See you there.
Did you know that the government has funded the 2022 budget through oil revenues? Yes, money earned from oil production offshore is being used to support projects in Guyana, including social programs like the increase of public assistance and old age pension, as well as cash grants to support the vulnerable members of society.
It's November already and soon it will be Christmas, so we at John Lewis Styles are giving away one Amazon Echo show every week in November and every day in December. Stream music and videos, make video calls and control smart devices, alarms, reminders and lots more. Every $5,000 spent gives you a chance to win when you shop for clothing, footwear, watches, fragrances, handbags, luggage and accessories. So visit us on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Get set, go! Guyana, get ready! It's the 60th National School Cycling, Swimming and Track and Field Championships from November 27th all the way through December 2nd. Hosted by the Ministry of Education and the Guyana Teachers Union. The moment you've been waiting for is here. Come and see the top student athletes and teachers from 15 sporting districts compete in intense rivalries. Come and enjoy cycling November 28th at the National Park Georgetown and swimming at the National Aquatic Center Liliendal. Witness the track and field action at the National Track and Field Center Lenora, West Coast Demerara on November 29, all the way through December 2nd. Action starts at 10 hours. The National Championships, where stars are born.
GBTI Quick Cash Christmas is back, just the way you like it. Get up to $500,000 easy for anything you want this Christmas. We ain't waiting on Santa. We buy and we own this Christmas. Apply at your nearest branch or online at www.gbtibank.com from October 15th to December 31st. GBTI, we see Christmas through your eyes. Terms and conditions apply.
A very Merry Guyanese Christmas.
Justice Damone Young has adjourned the case brought by Opposition Member of Parliament Vince Roy Jordan over the delays in the appointment of a Chancellor and Chief Justice to the 11th of January next year. The adjournment followed a request from the Attorney General. In a letter to the court, the Solicitor General Nigel Hawke explained that the Attorney General is currently in The Hague, representing Guyana at the International Court of Justice and the hearings on the border matter. In the letter, he said the Attorney General is currently engaged before the International Court and will now return to the country later this week. The Solicitor General said given the importance of the case, the Attorney General should be given an opportunity to deliver his oral arguments personally. Senior Counsel Royce Ford, who is representing the Opposition Member of Parliament who filed the case, objected to the request. Mr. Ford said it is for the reason that they must insist that the hearing of oral arguments proceed as scheduled unless an adjournment is absolutely necessary. He contended that the adjournment was not necessary, but rather preferred by the Attorney General. He was also keen on pointing out that the Attorney General was scheduled to deliver his oral arguments on the 22nd of November. Senior counsel Ford submitted that the Attorney General had a variety of options besides adjourning the hearing. When the matter was called today, the Solicitor General made a case for the adjournment again. However, Attorney Selwyn Peters, who is also representing MP Jordan, objected to the request, but the judge granted the adjournment anyway. Attorney Peters told News Source that while Justice Young granted the adjournment, she indicated that the court is not prepared to grant any further adjournments. MP Jordan, in his application, has asked the court to declare that since assuming office, President Irfan Ali has failed to engage the leader of the opposition on the appointment of a Chancellor and Chief Justice in accordance with the Constitution. He's also seeking an order directing the President to initiate the constitutional process forthwith. Since 2005, the offices of Chancellor and Chief Justice in Guyana have been without full appointments. The opposition leader has indicated that he is fully supportive of the two judges acting in the positions of Chancellor and Chief Justice to be confirmed to the posts. The International Energy Conference and Expo Guyana 2023 has announced that ExxonMobil Guyana will be its premier sponsor. The president of ExxonMobil Guyana, Alastair Rutledge, in a statement said the theme for the energy conference, Harnessing Energy for Development, is aligned with his company's commitment to sustainability produced energy in a manner that protects people and the environment. He said Guyana is a thought leader on low-carbon development with an ambitious strategy to secure growth and prosperity for current and future generations. The Exxon boss noted that those credentials, he believes, puts Guyana in the driver's seat on energy issues regionally, if not globally. And the International Energy Conference is an ideal platform to learn of developments and engage in the debate. The conference, which will bring together policymakers, academics, industry professionals, and entrepreneurs from around the world, will again see the participation of heads of state and government and global energy thought leaders. Chief Executive Officer of the International Energy Conference, Kurt Babulal, said the organization is appreciative of the support it continues to receive from corporate Guyana. He said ExxonMobil, as is demonstrated in Guyana, is an unparalleled leader in the energy development sector and remains committed to meeting current and future needs for development, adding that the rapid development of energy resources being undertaken by ExxonMobil Guyana has positioned the country in the middle of the current global discussions. Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Bharat also registered the government's support for the conference. He said the conference, which is entering its second edition, creates a platform for Guyana to showcase the vast opportunities for development and investment. The conference is set to take place from the 14th to the 17th of February next year at the Marriott Hotel. It is expected to feature 35 sponsors, 300 exhibitors, and more than 1,200 delegates.
Hello, Guyana. I am Yolanda Brand, Chief Recruitment and Manpower Officer. And I'm here to tell you about the Ministry of Labor's first national job fair to be held at the Artichon Convention Center on November 28, 2022. I want to encourage you to use this opportunity to get to know all there is to know on available vacancies within the private, public, industrial, and oil and gas sector. This event caters for job seekers, as there will be more than 40 major businesses and oil and gas contractors ready to engage you on the spot. For those of you who would not be able to make it, you can visit our job bank at jobs.gov.ui. Don't miss the date, November 28th at the Artichon Convention Center. See you there.
Census takers are visiting communities across Guyana and collecting information from every household. This information will help the government to plan better for our country's development. All the information shared will be treated as strictly confidential, and everyone is asked to participate. No one should be alarmed about any question asked, because the answers provided will help to improve living standards, decrease community crime rates, and improve access to housing and healthcare, among other benefits.
The census gives us the tool to identify some of these important gaps that exist across communities, within communities, and across regions, so that we can have targeted intervention.
Yeah, we counting way from region 1 to region 10, the whole country. Yeah, we counting way.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor of the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Get in the game with Buster. Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, and many more top gaming prizes. Check below for details.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up, fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up, protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guyoil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyoil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has challenged the election that he lost last month to leftist rival Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, arguing that votes from some machines should be invalidated in a complaint that election authorities met with initial skepticism. Bolsonaro's claim seems unlikely to get far, as Lula's victory has been ratified by the Superior Electoral Court and acknowledged by Brazil's leading politicians and international allies. Still, it could fuel a small but committed protest movement that has so far refused to accept the result. The Supreme Court Justice, who currently leads the court, said in a ruling seen by the Reuters news agency that Bolsonaro's right-wing electoral coalition, which filed the complaint, must present its full audit for both rounds of last month's vote within 24 hours, or he would reject it. Brazil's currency deepened losses after news of the electoral complaint, closing 1.3% weaker against the US dollar. The currency was already suffering from investor concerns about Lula's spending plans and economic policymakers. The U.S. government has announced that it will detain all imports of sugar and related products made in the Dominican Republic by Central Romana Corporation amid allegations that it uses forced labor. A U.S. Customs and Border Protection investigation found that the company allegedly isolated workers, withheld their wages, fostered abusive working and living conditions, and pushed for excessive overtime. The agency said that manufacturers like Central Romana that fail to abide by the laws of the U.S. will face consequences. Central Romana said in a written response to the Associated Press that it received the news about the import ban with great astonishment. The company said in recent decades it has invested millions of dollars to improve the working and living conditions of its employees in agricultural areas, guaranteeing decent wages and increased benefits, training and education workshops, as well as training in human rights and duties of the workers. Central Romana, which has long faced those types of accusations, is the Dominican Republic's largest sugar producer in an industry that exports more than $100 million worth of products to the U.S. every year. And finally tonight, international news. An employee at a Walmart supermarket in the U.S. state of Virginia shot dead 6 people and injured 6 others. The BBC reports that officers were called to the busy branch in the area after the gunman opened fire on his colleagues in a staff room last night. He then turned the gun on himself and died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. There is no clear motive for the shooting, and the police are not searching for anyone else in connection with the attack. The police identified the gunman as 31-year-old Andre Bing, and they said he was armed with a handgun as well as multiple magazines. Walmart said he was an overnight team lead who had been employed there since 2010. The company said it is focused on doing everything they can to support the associates and their families. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.